J-E-T-S, Good job today, man. One at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3. And the home of the Jets.
Good evening, everybody. Let's talk Jets on a Monday night. And I apologize in advance, Bubs, because I reconfigured my entire studio. So I had to wire it myself. So if anything goes haywire, I completely blame. I was to the point I had my microphone backwards. So when I did a sound check, I couldn't hear myself. I'm like, oh my God, my microphone's broken. So I had it backwards. So I apologize in advance for any audio or sound issues here.
All good. Setup looks good on your on all the background pictures. Got some Jet stuff up, all cool to see. So yeah, we all go through it. It's all part of it, I guess, right?
I'm like, where does the camera go? Where's the lighting? Where's the sound? Is there an echo? And I'm like, I'm not like technology, like me and technology are not friends whatsoever. So I have no idea what's going on. So, doing the best I can. I'm sure by like mid-season, I'll be in good form,
Yeah, I feel your pain. I'm not the best as always with technology too. It challenges me sometimes. So yeah, definitely feel you.
A lot of things. We have a week of practice in the books. We have some notepads. We have pads. We have roster moves, all kinds of stuff. And I'm excited, dude. But before we go into this, the New York Jets are funny, man, because I'm like, you know what? The home opener's coming up. I want to go to the game. You know what? Let me. So the ticket office reaches out to me. Like, hey, man, do you want to go to the game? Absolutely, I want to go. Like, how many tickets do you want? I'm like, you know what? I want to go. Some friends. Like, I want 7 tickets. Fair, right? You figure 7 tickets. I'm like, yeah, let's get the sun. They're like, No, you got to buy 10. I don't want 10. I want 7. They literally were just like, yeah, you can either buy club seats, which are like $500 or $800 a piece, like that, or just go on Ticketmaster. I'm like, what kind of ticket service is that? I'm like, you think that they'd be excited where like fans are buying back in, they want to do something? Like, no, 7's not enough for them. I have to buy 10, or I got to buy like some $500 seats. Like, that's just wild to me, dude.
It's funny you bring that up because I've had my own fair share of Jets ticket stuff too. I was heading out to training camp this past week, and I called up to see what time. I was trying to figure out the lots when they were opening and when the buses start. So I wanted to call up and see when all that started because the practices this year are different. It was 10:15 last year. Now it's 8:30. So my timing was all off. So I called them up, and now they won't stop calling me. They want all the tickets. So they want me to buy this green plan. It's like 5 games or whatever for like $650. If I buy it now, parking's 30% off, whatever. I told them I'm not interested. They're like, can we give you a call back on Friday to see, if you'd be interested in our white plan? I'm like, I'm not interested in the green plan. Not going to be interested in the white plan, because I told them too that I would plan on heading out to the home opener. And they're like, oh, well, you can get the home opener and here's 5 other games for $600 more. I'm like, no, I'm all right. I'm just going to training camp. Go to the home opener and we'll see, kind of take it week by week as I always like to do with them. I see where they're at. If they're in it, I'm going to go to games. If they're not, you sit back and just watch at home at that point. But yeah, they are any money they can get out of you, they're looking for it.
But it's just like, you figure like they'd be excited, like, oh, fans are interested. I want to help them out. So I'm like, I guess I'll go to Ticketmaster. Yeah, go to Ticketmaster and figure it out. Well, thanks. Appreciate it. Why have a ticket office if you don't want to sell me tickets? It's not like 7 tickets is like, nothing, especially, like you figure they'd be excited about that. Literally brush me off. But if I want 10, I can call them. Like, bro, that's just crazy to me.
And then they'll call you when they'll be 2 and 9 and they'll call you, oh, can we interest you in season tickets?
They should be excited that we want to go to game in general. It's another rebuild, a lot of uncertainty. I mean, excitement's slowly building up now, but I'm like, dude, I was shocked that there was approach, but exactly. No discount wine, nothing. It's just crazy. But anyway, on to other things, which slowly but surely, I think fans are starting to buy into Aaron Glenn's approach because we look at all our complaints over the last 2 or 3 years and how the Jets were dysfunctional, lack of discipline, lack of accountability, penalties, all this stuff. And you're seeing Aaron Glenn's measures, which he talked about. So when he had his press conference, he talked about it. We're like, all right, actions, not words. We're now seeing his actions because you're seeing it on the practice field. And starting with the penalties, Bubs, I was so excited when I heard this because when Salah last year didn't have any referees at all in practice, we lost our minds. We watched one of the most undisciplined teams of football all year long with ridiculous penalties. And now Aaron Glenn's like, I want officials there as much as possible. That right there sets a tone like, all right, he's serious. He's a man about business, about correcting mistakes and saying this is his culture. This is his standard. And that alone is encouraging for me.
Yeah, 100%. And Salah, it never made sense. It was so infuriating. You go back to 2023, they didn't have refs that summer. Hard Knocks, all that stuff, no refs. They ended up being the most penalized team in the NFL that year. You go into last year, you'd think they would have refs. They didn't. Again, most penalized team. And it was all the dumb penalties. And Salah always had the approach too, and it was always his whole mindset of the locker room is kind of led by the players. And he always said how players know what penalties, what are bad penalties. They know the plays they're going to be making. You know, remember last year he said something about during training camp that he doesn't need to yell at grown men or something along those lines.
To motivate players. Yep.
Yeah, they know what they're doing wrong. And that was the completely wrong approach because obviously they went out and were the most penalized team again in the NFL, just so undisciplined. And it was the small things, again, we talk about, Glenn, having refs at practice, nothing major, but such a small thing that we didn't see with Salah. And I'm so glad that he's talked about it early on. It's something emphasis early on. Jeremy Rucker today, he had a false start. They took him out of the drill afterwards. Like little things like that go a long way. And I'm glad too. He almost spoke on it in that press conference like he was here last year. How undisciplined teams don't win football. We're the most penalized team. He could easily just kind of put it off to the side. That wasn't me. I wasn't here for it. But no, he's attacking it head on. He's understanding it's a big issue. He's understanding accountability has been a massive, massive issue here. And it's just undisciplined football has just killed this team. And it's so nice. It's a breath of fresh air. That 55-second clip, we never got that out of Salah. And we got that in the first week of training camp. And I think the players respect that too. To hear
players
that.
wanted it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of it, it makes them better. Like they were embarrassed last year, penalty after penalty. And I like the way Aaron Glenn broke it down. There's like three types of penalties. There's the competitive penalty, pass interference, where the guy's being aggressive. Like those are going to happen. There's the stupid penalties, pre-snap penalties, false start, offside. Like that stuff's like getting stupid. That's the stuff we can control, which you saw today with Jeremy Rucker. False start, out. And that's like last year, how many games we watched where Michael Clemens, penalty after penalty, stays in the game. There was no repercussions for doing stupid things. And it drove me absolutely insane. And now it's like, this is a standard. And the players know it too. Like they know this is what expected of me. I can't do half-ass stuff. I can't do stupid things. He wants a smart, disciplined, physical team. It's his way or the highway. If he doesn't get it, you're not going to play. And there's no gray. Yeah. And what I like about the most is the players, one by one, in their press conferences, if you listen to what they're saying, are saying the same thing. It's so much different than last year. We have structure. We have an idea. We have a plan. We have a blueprint. We know what's expected of us. There is no gray area. Dude, that is going to pay a huge difference because it's a young, impressionable team. This team has talent, dude, but they were like a rudderless ship. Didn't know where the hell to go. And what you said was perfect. Solid counted on his players to police themselves, be the message, be the coach, be the mentor. Like, no, your coaches are going to coach you. Not Aaron Rodgers, not CJ Mosley. No, your coach is going to coach you up and tell you exactly what to do, and then you do it. That's an enormous difference, man.
Yeah, 100%. And you mentioned those dumb penalties, right? Like you said, pass interference is going to happen, especially with the Jets. I mean, Brandon Stevens had a PI. There was a hold. The Jets are going to play a lot more man. When you play that physical press man coverage and the receivers and corners going out, you're going to have PIs. You're going to have holds. It's going to happen. It's a part of the game. But it's, like you said, the false starts, the offsides. How many delay games did the Jets take last year in and out of the huddle where they weren't quick enough? They were getting out of the huddle with 4 or 5 seconds left, getting to the line and delay a game. You mentioned Clemens. Kinlaw was another huge culprit of it last season. Even just the little things down to like Ulbrich saying how Hassan Reddick was the most unselfish player he's ever been around, one of the most unselfish, just all of that. It was just terrible. And Glenn has completely changed that so far. It's been a breath of fresh air. And Salah's taken a lot of heat. Nobody's mentioned his name directly, but he's taken a lot of heat. Even with Will McDonald, Glenn talked about how using the bull rush, that's coaching. That's something that he's being taught. Salah always, his mindset was always kind of harness what players are really good at and have them excel at that. He never really was focused on trying to work on players' weaknesses. Glenn, you could tell, is more, what are your weaknesses? Let's work on those, as opposed to just excelling at what you're good at. McDonald, right? We know it's the spin move, the athleticism. Now it's put on size, bull rush. Elijah Vera Tucker said it the other day. This is the first time in his 4 years that he's seen accountability. A lot of it is some strays at Saleh, rightfully so. And you could tell the players it's a breath of fresh air for them as well, at least the ones that have obviously been here.
Because it shows you the players are vested. They don't want to lose. They don't want to be embarrassed. They want to maximize their potential so they can get paid. If you play great football, you make big money. If you play losing football, you're probably out of here. You're not making any money. So it's like they see what's all it. It's so encouraging, man, that they're buying in. We've talked about this in the past, dude. They want to be coached up. They want to be great. They want to be better. And it's like the one thing I like the most is that Aaron Glenn, position by position, all throughout the team, is involved in it. Offense, defense, special teams. Like, you ask him about a player, he can give you a detailed breakdown of what he likes about him, what he doesn't like about him. It's not like, well, I got to talk to, Engstrand about that. No, he'll talk to you straight up. This is what I think about Justin Fields. This is why we're doing it. This is what I think about Brandon Stevens. This is what I think about our kicker. Like, he's fully a full-blown CEO-type head coach that has fingerprints all over the roster. So it's going to be his way or the highway. He's going to sink or swim his way, which I respect a lot. But the players are vibing with it. And like even today, like Gibson was talking to the media. He's like, this guy played the NFL at a very high level on special teams. Like, with the corners, they talked to, what was his, was it not Eccles? One of the guys, one of the corners they talked to. He's like, this guy played corner at an all-pro level. So I can learn from him myself. So it's like that. His message is resonating with the locker room. And to me, it's super exciting, man, because this is how we talk about culture so often. You're seeing the transition right here where the accountability is all throughout the team. And the players are kind of reciting it. Like Breece Hall was talking about it. Like they asked him, what's an Aaron Glenn type player? He literally said almost the same thing that Coach Glenn said. And he started laughing. He's like, this is what he wants, man. Like, we know what he wants. This is what we have to give him. And it's like, all right, you know what? If you're smart, disciplined, and you have, quality coaching, you can be competitive each week. Then talent and, a couple breaks. But this is how you're going to slide the turn to making that 6, 7, 8, 9 win season.
100%. And I think you talk about the corner. I think that was Stevens. And he was talking about why he signed here. And there is something to that about this coaching staff that kind of flies under the radar. A lot of these guys are former players, and there's something to that, being coaches understanding the players and what they're going through and what they need and what they need to hear. And then from a player standpoint, there is also that recognition of these guys have been through it, especially for that cornerback room. Sauce, Stevens, all those guys. Glenn played corner. He played for this organization. He played at a very high level. Like, when he speaks, guys are going to listen. And everybody. I mean, Dre Bly, who's in that secondary, he's a former player. Ton of former players there that are, when they speak, players are going to listen. They understand they've been in their shoes, and there's something to that. And I'm glad you brought that up too, with the way he speaks and talks about different players. Saleh, it was always sunshine and rainbows with all these guys. It was, this guy's great. This is awesome. This is great. Glenn, he's going to praise you, but he's also going to tell you what you need to fix. Yep. Clemens, Saleh never, and you mentioned Clemens, and I think that's a good one to discuss. Saleh never talked about Clemens' penalties issues. When they asked Glenn, he immediately said, he's got a lot of things that they like, but he mentioned how they've looked back, they've talked about the penalties, they've got to be cleaned up, they've got to get cut out, or else he's not going to play. Like, Saleh never recognized that. Every player was so great. Glenn's able to go up there and speak both positively and let you know what they need to work on. And then, in practice, and I was there, I think he has taken more steps and has said more words than Saleh said in the 4 years that I was at training camp. I think I saw Glenn move around that field more than Saleh did in 4 years. He's over at special teams. He's offensive line. Even Engstrand as well. There's such a emphasis on coaching. Chris Banjo at the special teams. Everything at these practices, there's a purpose. Everything with these coaches, it's about teaching. They're vocal. They're talking to these guys. That was not the case in previous years. It was a lot of standing around, a lot of nothing. That's not the case here with Glenn. It's coaching. It's getting these guys better. It's accountability, all those things. And it's
attention to detail. Like, Glenn focuses on the details. Like, listen, we're going to take every advantage we can to make you a better player. And you said it perfectly, where it's like, he talks to Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's a great player, but he can do these things. Sauce is great, but like, he has no problem being positive, but he's also going to say, listen, it's not all rainbows here. We got some issues here too that we have to address. But I like his positive reinforcement. When guys do good things, he praises them. He did it today. He did it yesterday. Like, Like he came off his first couple press conferences kind of harsh and negative and kind of like, oh, he's a grumpy old man. And now it's like you're seeing his personality. He's got that energetic vibe to him. Like, listen, these guys are rolling. I feel good about it. If they don't play good, he's like, oh, you know what? We got some things to work on. But he's like, it's also freaking July 28th. It's not September 1st. So we have time. He understands it's a young team. And then we get to the padded practice, and or not even yesterday's practice, where this has been one of the worst tackling teams the last couple of years, where it's been embarrassing. When the game starts, they're getting pushed around. It's arm tackling, bad angles, all this other stuff. And it's like there's too much talent to be this bad. We've talked about this forever. And it's like we want the physicality to be back. So we're like, what is this regime going to bring to the table? What is Aaron Glenn's mindset? They want to be physical, nasty, and take pride in being a Jet. But, you know, you kind of influence, you like being an influence on the field. Now they're doing tackling drills, dude. He said the best way to tackle is to learn how to tackle, is to actually tackle in practice. And when Salah's practices, dude, would drive me insane. The little push drills, this drill, they weren't wrapping up, they weren't doing anything. And the players, they're talking about this. They like the physicality of practice. They like the attention to detail. They like this. They get fired up for it. Like, listen, we're getting hit now, so we know what it's like in the game. We're getting our bodies acclimated to it. Salah counted on joint practices for that, and that was really it. Now it's like they're doing it now, early on and often. And he's like, listen, injuries are going to happen. I know it's part of the game, but we have to be a physical, nasty team. We got to practice fundamentals now, day one in training camp, not waiting until week 4. Now, dude, that's so welcome to me because penalties, tackling, discipline, accountability, that changes so much for your team. It establishes your mindset, your culture, and the players take pride in like, all right, listen, this is our mindset. We are going to here to beat your ass. We're not getting pushed around. Solid talk to talk, but he didn't walk to walk in practice or on game day. He did, and nor did his team. The team followed him. The team's going to follow Aaron Glenn now with a whole different mindset. Now they're going to be like, listen, we got to be tough up here. We got to buckle up here.
It's finally building that identity that Salah was never able to build. And how many times would we see under Salah them come out slow in games, get pushed around early on, especially early in seasons, get pushed around, and a lot of that you kind of acquainted sometimes to the lack of physicality, lack of actual tackling practice in training camp. It was unpadded practice on Saturday, and they were doing those one-on-one, you know, sort of an Oklahoma drill, of course. And the players were loving it. Like they were, Garrett and Sauce. Dude. Yeah. Garrett and Sauce actually started the tackling drill. And then at the end, Glenn wanted them to step up again. Sauce won the rep. Sauce won another rep today. That's another thing important too. Sauce, a guy that struggled with some tackling issues last year. That open field tackling drill is important for all these guys to work on that, but it's just building that identity. He said it today, running, blocking, tackling. That is what you want to build your team off of. This is a Jets team that didn't run the ball well and they didn't tackle well last year. And if they want to have success this year, you got to win in the trenches. Ultimately, that's where it starts. Yep. This is an offensive line that on paper you have high expectations for. They got to be nasty front. You've got to have a run game behind that. A nasty offensive line, defensive line as well, winning up front, stopping the run. All of that kind of falls under that same physical, nasty, competitive umbrella. It felt like today, just seeing the tweets, hearing about what happening, it was like an old school 2-a-day type of practice, just old school smash mouth football. Don't care about the injuries. You're out there to get better. You're out there to compete, and the players love it. And I
think it's great. I think it's great.
It's an awesome sight.
And this is how you legitimately change your culture of your locker room. It's not talking about it. It's not slogans. It's not all the other nonsense. It's like, this is what we have to do here. We have no choice because we know how bad we were. And it's funny you say that. It's like Aaron Glenn, like, researched this team before he researched what he inherited. This team has no discipline. This team can't tackle worth of shit. Like, he knew all these things. Like, listen, piece by piece, we're going to address this. And he's rolling it out through training camp. And it's so damn exciting. You know, and like to hear all the practice reports where it's like, hey, man, like, we're, you know, it's very smooth, very organized. Damien Woody praising Damien Woody's like, this practice flow is incredible. The players talk about it, like no wasted drills, no wasted movements. Everything has intention, and it's game, like it's game stuff. It's situational awareness stuff, not drills to do drills. Like, no, this is going to help we apply in a game where it's like that is referring to. It's exciting as well because like I went to Salah's practices too, dude. I'm like, what am I watching? Like, it's just like they arrived, they won 2 Super Bowls, and they're just going through the motions like, we'll be ready week 1, and they weren't ready week 1.
It was a complete just country club environment, no energy, no real practice, no reps. It was just felt like wasted 2 hours really with him. And just on the coaching point too, just going back to, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, there was a couple examples that I pulled from the practice. They do a little bit different where they actually start with walkthroughs first, and then they go to stretching, and then they go to individuals and positional drills. They were doing walkthrough special team drills, something very, very minor, like simulated kickoffs. And Banjo is very vocal on just if a player made a mistake, he was right there to correct them. Like, even though it was just walkthroughs, extremely vocal. Andre Sisco, who was back taking punts, dropped the punt. Glenn walked immediately over to him and was talking to him. There was a play, too, during the walkthroughs on offense. Brady Cook, it was kind of a messed up handoff. Engstrand was right there talking to him right after the play, teaching him, coaching him up, like what went wrong. You never saw that with Saleh. Saleh was always just standing off in the distance, and early on, everything's with a purpose. There's no wasted time. There is no just walking around, wandering around. Everything's with a purpose. Players are moving, coaches are coaching. It's completely different, and it's great to see.
What's up, Chris? Actually, I have more posters, dude. I'm going to Lincoln Park on Sunday. System of Down. I got more. It's just my room's a work in progress right now, man. I suck at hanging things. But I think I can't wait to see what happens in the joint practices as preseason goes, because he's talking about competition where you're seeing all. The one thing I don't want to do now is, like, it's a week of practice and one guy shows a little bit like, oh my God, this guy, Mason Taylor's arrived, or this guy's arrived. And it's like, no, it's your first week of practice, first day of pads. Let's go through a lot more before we anoint people that they're the next best thing and all pro and all this other stuff. But it's exciting. And now, since you were at practice, what did you think about the wide receiver group, man? Because to me, it's like you have Garrett Wilson, superstar, Josh Reynolds, a veteran guy who's apparently a captain, mentors a lot of the other guys. Alan Lazard, we know we are. Malachi Corley seems like he's coming out a little bit, showing some things, probably re-energized with his coaching staff. Aaron Smith, complete crazy speed, but can he catch the football? What were your thoughts on the wide receivers?
Josh Reynolds, Garrett's obviously doing Garrett Wilson things, but Josh Reynolds definitely emerging as the wide receiver too. He's definitely, to me, the clear-cut favorite. Getting targeted a lot. The ball's going his way a lot. Fields, when he came in on Saturday, 7-on-7, had a really nice ball to him downfield against Sauce. Really nice touch, about 30, 35 yards, put it in perfect. Actually, it might have been Tyrod who threw it. It might have been 11-on-11s, but Reynolds has been used a lot. He is definitely the clear-cut wide receiver too. And when Fields has been back out there today, of course, prior to the toe injury, he's targeted him a lot, even going back to the spring. Reynolds is impressed. In terms of Corley, he had the touchdown. He's made a couple nice plays. Definitely seems re-energized, moving in the right direction. I still do question sometimes with Corley if his head's always in it. Like, there was sometimes drills where he'd kind of go through it, and I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but he'd go through the drill and it feels like wasn't going, or 100% maybe. I don't know. Just the team drills, I thought he was doing well. Some of the individual position drills, sometimes he just seemed a little off at times, but from a team drill perspective, I think he's looked good. Arian Smith, the speed is off the charts. Mm-hmm. Really interested to see what happens now with the pads coming on, because now it's okay. Route running becomes more important. Hands become more important. The physicality aspect becomes more important. The speed is going to blow you away when you're just in t-shirts and shorts. The pads came on. We're really going to get a good chance to evaluate him. But I definitely think they like him. I mean, they've used him a lot, even in end arounds. This is an offense. Engstrand's utilizing different end arounds. Brandon Smith had an end around. Arian Smith had an end around. So using him maybe more so as a gadget guy as well, along as a vertical threat with the speed. Mm-hmm. And in Tyler Johnson, Lazard, to be honest, hasn't done anything that's really caught your eye. Mm-hmm. I think there's a chance that Tyler Johnson might be wide receiver 3.
Really?
Possibly. From what I've seen, I've liked what I've seen from Tyler Johnson. He's been used a good amount. He's looked pretty good. Lazard just hasn't really caught my eye much. Maybe that's because
he sucks.
And he's just, we kind of already know what to expect out of him, but I've really liked what I've seen from Tyler Johnson.
He's tall too. Isn't he tall?
He's like 6'1", I think. I don't think he's too tall. He's solid though. I mean, he's looked pretty good. Again, it's training camp, and it's, you don't want to, there's context to it all, but I liked what I've seen from him. He's made some plays. Jamal Pritchett.
That's the guy I was going to ask you about.
Yeah. Jamal Pritchett he's he's intriguing. I think he's going to make the roster over Gibson. I really do.
Over Gibson? Really?
I think there's a real chance. I mean, Gibson's had some drops with punt returns. And if Gibson doesn't really, and I actually don't think Gibson's had a bad camp from a receiving perspective, but I think there's a real chance where if Pritchett continues showing off this receiving upside in training camp, because they've used him a lot, he's getting targeted a lot, and he's shows some special teams value from a punt returning perspective. I think there's a chance he makes the team. Maybe it's over Corley, not Gibson, but I think there's a real chance he finds a way on this roster.
What does he bring to the table, though? Is he a speedster, a slot guy, deep threat? Like, what is he?
He's got some good speed. He's made a couple nice plays across the middle, something in general that the Jets have done more of. A lot of their route concepts, a lot of it's been across the middle. Previous years, everything's been to the sidelines. Now it's a lot more slants, a lot more routes across the middle, even some of the deeper routes down the seam. He's got some speed. He's not the tallest guy. He's on the small end. I think he's only like 5'8". He's pretty small, but he's got speed. Probably fits in more so in the slot. But he's a guy that when the ball's in his hands, can make some guys miss, can pick up some yak. And special teams wise, he flashed in South Alabama last year as a returner, and so far has looked comfortable returning punts. He's definitely got some upside, like that comment just said. He's intriguing. Feels like Xavier Gibson of 2 years ago, that UDFA that sneaks on and makes the roster.
Now, what about the tight end group? Because you have, Mason Taylor, who's apparently coming on. There's some of the highlights. You have Ruckert at the penalty today, but what have you seen out of Ruckert? What about Stone Smart? Is he more of a glorified receiver, or is he actually a tight end?
Yeah, he feels like a bigger slot than more so than a tight end. Taylor's look good. Ruckert, I think he's just, I don't know. We'll see. I think he's more just the blocking ability is obviously his strength, and they're going to use him a lot. He had a couple catches, but I don't know how much more you're going to get out of him from a receiving perspective. But Mason Taylor's look very good, and Fields targets him a lot because Fields targets the tight ends. He's done it his entire career, and he's had success targeting the tight ends, and you've seen that so far in camp. And
speaking of Fields, we talked about everybody. We talked about, wide receivers, talked about, tight ends, and Fields, who had the toe injury, which everybody panicked and said that its season's over. We got to go out and get Carson Wentz. It was only a one-day thing. He's back in practice and doing his thing. What were your thoughts on Fields, seeing him, his mobility, his arm strength, his accuracy? Like, your initial take on him?
Yeah, he looked good. The 7-on-7 drills that he was in, because he was still coming back for the toe. Friday, he was just doing some throwing off to the side, and Saturday was just 7-on-7s. He looked good. He was completed, I think, all of his passes. The one Arian Smith ball, he looked like Arian Smith might have been out of bounds. He didn't get his feet in, but a lot of connection to Garrett. Like, that's clearly rekindling that, college Ohio State connection there. But he looked comfortable. I mean, some of them were just the quick slants. He's got deep ball. He had hit a nice one down the sideline. I think it might have been to, I forget, it might have been to Tyler Johnson. He's got some nice touch. He looks good. When I get back out there, I think I'll be there Saturday. Get a better look once he does 11-on-11s back in pads. The day I was there, he was just 7-on-7s, but he looked all right. I mean, he completed all of his passes. I'm just intrigued just to see really what he can do with hopefully a coordinator that's able to scheme these guys open and utilize obviously the legs, which is his strength, but then being able to get the ball to, these guys that are open and scheming these guys opening and giving him easy looks where he doesn't have to roll out and, take a ton of time in the pocket, just these quick, easy passes for him. And the play action, they have run play action a lot, even with Tyrod rolling out play action a lot. And that's what you expect is,
well, they're actually being coached now.
Like, play action.
I think if you read between the lines between Brees saying some things, Garrett Wilson, they like the scheme, they like the minds. I think it was Brees saying was it Brees or AV talking about the offensive line, the play calling is their scheme, and they're it's a lot easier to understand, a lot easier to function. Communication is so much better. It's the more they talk, the more pissed off I get about last year's coaching staff. It just shows you how bad it really was, because the players they're not. Usually, if you have a lot of respect for your previous staff, you don't say a lot of things. You kind of say, you know what, this is good, we're fine. The players are literally saying, last year we had no idea what we were doing. Last year didn't make sense to us. Last year we were dysfunctional. They're all, as a group, saying it now, which just shows you how bad it must have really been. But it's refreshing. So now it's all all right, your offensive lines can be better. They have potential with, two bookend tackles that are young, physical, great athletes. It seems like the center position is a legitimate battle between Tippmann and Myers, which Aaron Glenn said it. Myers said it. Nobody's backing down from that, which is fine. AVT is healthy doing his thing. So it's like, I'm all for it. Like, have that competition. And then you have the defensive line. I think when you have a physical practice like this, it makes both sides better. The whole iron sharpens iron. But especially when you have these, especially when Jermaine Johnson comes back, but testing Olu and testing Membu with Will McDonald and these guys makes them so much better, dude. Especially with a physical type of defense like this. I think the trickle down, it's beneficial for everybody.
Yeah, and that defense line room, just specifically like you were mentioning, so important for that group to have that nastiness, have that physicality, that ability to stop the run, right? This is a team that's gotten pushed around from that standpoint. And you saw today, Byron Cowart made a couple plays with the pads on. You were seeing the offensive line, defensive line, one-on-one reps was something else that Glenn implemented that you really didn't see much of with Saleh. Derek Nottie, Leonard Taylor had a couple wins on those one-on-one reps. So it'll be interesting to see who he urges. I'll tell you what, Jay Tufele actually made a couple plays on Friday, which was interesting. I doubt he wins it. I think it'll probably be Cowart.
Right.
It seems to be that he's the front runner for that. Yeah. Next to Quinnen and Nottie and Tufele. Tufele more would just be that rotational run stopper, and then Nottie will slot in behind those guys as well, kind of as that third defensive tackle in line. But Will McDonald, just flipping on over defense line as a whole, like Will McDonald, you could tell the size he's put on, the bull rushing ability, them coaching that out of him. It's exciting what he can do coming off of a 10-sack season. And you hope that the, coaching and just the team in general, the talk about the gap integrity, all those different things. Will McDonald's one of those guys, right? You hope can become better against the run, and putting on some size should help with that, because that's the next big step of his game. And I think all these guys last year, season got so bad. A lot of it was just kind of selling out for sacks and all that stuff. Now you hope that kind of changes. Defensive line's coming along.
What is your take on the safeties? It seems like Cisco had a lot of plays flying around, and then Malachi Moore seemed like he was pointed out too as a guy that's very encouraging and be a good player. And the safety position seemed like there's two spots up for grabs, depending on who you believe. Tony Adams is still there, but like it seems like there could be some rotation. Could be three guys. Like, how do you see that falling out right now?
Yeah, Cisco's looked good. He's come on really well. I'm excited for Cisco. I think really last year was more of Jacksonville's issues than himself. I think it was just a product of everything. That entire defense took a step back last year. I think there's a real chance Malachi Moore beats out Tony Adams. Everything that he does just embodies what Glenn wants. He's competitive. He's physical. He's going back to his college days. He was a multi-year starter, team captain, like everything with Nick Saban in Alabama, like everything that he does well, the Jets want in their players. Has the ability to get downhill, clog running lanes. Like he's really intriguing. And today he had a pass breakup, big hit. He's a thumper.
So he's more of a strong safety or a free safety?
I'd probably say strong safety, and then Cisco would slot in.
Free safety.
Yeah, free safety. It could be one of those things where Tony Adams starts the season, and then depending on how things go, they move to Malachi Moore.
Yeah.
That's similar to Brandon Stevens, right? Stevens might start the year. If he's having those same issues, then you could slot in AZ Thomas potentially. So yeah, I like Malachi Moore a lot. And Tony Adams isn't bad. He's solid. He's average, but you'd probably put Malachi Moore, the ceiling's definitely higher, and he's a Glenn guy, first draft, of course. So he's an intriguing name.
What about Brandon Stevens and AZ Thomas? Because Stevens is Aaron Glenn's guy. It's no secret about that. He praises him. They gave him the big money contract, which surprised all of us based on what he did in Baltimore. What have you seen out of him so far?
AZ Thomas has looked good. Stevens is 50-50 because a lot of the plays, all the Garrett Wilson highlights, he's been on the wrong end of. But there's also been a couple plays where he's had a couple pass breakups. He's had a couple good plays in coverage. He's had a very 50-50 training camp. I'm really intrigued to see what Stevens does when they have these joint practices. He's probably going to get some opportunities to line up against neighbors when they face the Giants. That's going to be a big test for him. But AZ Thomas has looked good. Stevens still shaky. AZ Thomas, and I think with the pads on, you're even going to see more now as well, just with that man coverage, his press man coverage ability. You can understand why the Jets liked him. This was a guy that if he didn't have a slow 40-yard dash, you're probably talking about an early day 2 pick, not somebody that falls to the 3rd round. And again, Glenn being a former corner clearly saw something in him. He's an intriguing piece for the future, him and Sauce potentially down the line. But yeah, Stevens is Glenn's guy. Wilkes likes him as well. They clearly see where they need him to get better at.
Yep.
And, they think that they can get it out of him. We'll see. But that's where I would say it's at right now.
I don't think Jermaine Johnson's off the PUP list yet. He's not off the he said he's cleared, but the Jets haven't cleared him yet and opened up the practice. But I don't mind them taking it slow with him at all, dude. Like, let him come back slowly but surely. You don't need to be a hero in July and August, be a hero in September. So completely fine with that. So now we have your training camp report, and our good friend Chris was at practice as well. What's up, man? I don't have no sound. Where is this guy? What are we doing here? This is our first caller. Our first caller, we have no sound.
Better?
Yeah, we gotta hear your pretty voice.
Oh yeah. Hey, if I know the last time I was on it was really choppy with the internet. So if it ends up getting bad for whatever reason, it looks good on my end. Just toss me out like trash.
Well, give your thoughts on practice, man. You have your first view of the Aaron Glenn regime, where you have a lot of takes about accountability, organized practice, intensity. What do you think?
I think it's the word that I would use is I feel like it's been purposeful. I feel like I've been going to camp since 2009. I've been there at least one time every year since the Rex days, obviously with the exception of COVID and the lockout years. And it's the first time maybe since Rex that I feel like practice actually has a flow. There's very little downtime because even after you get out of the positional drills or the 7-on-7, they're bringing in the special teams, whether if it's just throwing field goals, or working on the punt, on the punts and stuff like that. It seems like there's very little downtime and they're maximizing the time that they're actually there on the field, which is exciting to see.
Yeah, I mean, now the thoughts on the tackling and the penalties, like to put a premium on that is music to my ears because they've been so poor the last 3 years where it's just like they're beating themselves. You can't tackle when you're getting all these hidden, like 15-yard penalties, this and that. You lose a flow of the game. It's a significant advantage for the other team. Yep. I like his mindset. I like the accountability approach. And it seems like the players are buying in, like the stars are buying in. Garrett, Sauce, Quinn, and Quincy. It's not like it's like if they buy in, everybody else behind them is like, yep, I'm with them, man. Like if Garrett buys in, if I'm Gibson, I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Everything. What you're seeing is you're seeing no bullshit across the board from the players, from the coach or coaches, even not just Glenn, but everybody that's under him, whether if it's Wilkes or Eggstrand or Banjo. They're not speaking in tongues. Like they're telling you what it is. There's nothing that any of our beat right now can read between the lines because it's as direct as it gets. And it's a fucking blessing. It's a fucking blessing as fans, knowing like what we're doing. I mean, going back to, Salah with like Makai's injury, he'll be out like 2 weeks and he was out, forever and they mishandled that. It's like, yeah, I know it feels like we say this every time. I feel like we said it with Salah, but it actually feels like this time, like there's grownups finally in the room. Woody's staying back for now, knock on wood, knock on whatever's around you, but it's great to see.
Well, it seems like it's like Salah talked it, but he never walked it.
Exactly.
Aaron Glenn said day one what his mindset's going to be, his approach going to be. Yep. And training camp started, and the players are like, "No shit, he ain't kidding around." Like they know, like we can't push him around. He's our leader. He's our voice. We're not looking for the guy next to me. Like our direction's coming from up top. The coaches our coaches are telling us what to do now.
Yep. And Bubs, I know you'll agree with this too. I mean, I know obviously there was no tackling because you said you were there on Saturday too, right? So there was no tackling on Saturday. The fans, the players were so fucking juiced when they busted out that variation of the Oklahoma drill. Yep. It was so sick. Like everybody was losing their minds. It was like the freaking Rory McDonald and Lawler fucking UFC fight where they're going blow for blow and everybody's just going nuts. Like, and it's that feeding off back and forth. I mean, we're fans. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter like what we do or what we say from the stands, especially in a training camp practice. But like, players definitely are vibing with that shit, and it's
Well,
awesome.
it's competition. Like they're rising to the battle. I
Yep,
think like
exactly.
it was like I think who was talking about it today? Braille Allen was talking about it. Like, oh, I face like Sherwood, I face this guy, I face that guy, and then looking forward and they talk about like I got to get better because I got to get past. And Brees is like, hey man, like it's a good drill, but I got caught today. Like I've got to figure out ways to be better in open space.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
game.
They're
It's
not
situation.
passing the buck and blaming other things. It's like they're owning it. You know what I mean? And then just moving forward. But a couple things like I feel. I know you already talked about Brandon Stevens. I'll say this. It seems like obviously we were only there for one practice, but now there's been 3, 4 basically. And it seems like every day, little by little, Stevens has gotten a little bit better where you're hearing more of the good he's doing. So if we're putting a premium on coaching, that's exactly all you can hope for right now. But Thomas has looked awesome. Like it may only be just a little bit of time before he takes that spot opposite Sauce. Like that dude's a playmaker. And then you don't know what you do. You throw Stevens in safety, but you have more balling out in safety. You have Cisco balling out in safety. You know what I mean? Like there's that depth there and it's looking great. You have 3 running backs. Brees has put the ball on the ground a couple times, which is you're not excited to see that, but he's had those flashes like old Brees, you know.
Yeah, but
Allen,
but the
bumper and
that's what I want to start with. It's like we all love Brees, but we also know that he's in a contract year, and most likely as of now, I don't think the Jets are going to pay him. But then you hear Aaron Glenn praise Braylon Allen today, and the way he talked about it, he's like, I wish we had a whole team like him. He'll play anywhere. He's physical. And I'm like, you know, you can read the writing on the wall already. Like, all right, we see the direction this is going to go. So then it's like, all right, you have him, you have Isaiah Davis, you have other guys, and it's like, but you can see how, I mean, Bubs, what do you think? But I kind of get that feeling the way they're praising Braylon, and Braylon is like that physical, nasty player where it's like he's a team guy. He'll, you know, it's like he seems like an Aaron Glenn guy right off the bat. And then to hear Glenn talk about him, I'm like, all right, we can see how this is going to be. He's gonna get his chance of carries this year for sure.
Definitely. You're just that big thumper out of the backfield. And what I think was most impressive about Braylon Allen too is just his vision. Once he hits the hole, he's explosive. Like you don't really think of him as that quick, has that second gear that he's able to get to, but he is. Like when he hits that second level and finds his lane and hits that burst and gets through and gets to the second level to defense, like he's able to, you know, get up another notch. Not just a short yardage guy, but I think somebody else that could just be used overall and receiving wise as well. There was a play, it was a dump off and he took it for about 55, 60 yards all the way down. It's tough to tell if he was either going to be tackled about the 5 or if it would have been a touchdown, but
he was that linebacker was closing on him quick.
Yeah, it was like in a game, he probably got taken down, but in practice, you know, he got all the way there. It was tough, but even
I mean, no matter what, touchdown or not, that was a big play.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like that was going for big.
And I think, and I think that's what's so intriguing too about him is his receiving upside. I mean, we saw last year in that Titans game, he had that big touchdown in his second NFL game, and then they just stopped using him. Like you look at his numbers last year, the first 4 weeks he was playing well, and then the season went off the rails and they stopped running the football and he was out of the equation. They know Engstrand's coming from a team where they know how to use 2 running backs really well. And I think that's what's really intriguing about Braylon Allen.
I think he's going to be like that David Montgomery type clone. You know what I mean? Like there is so much excitement there. I'm excited to see potentially both of them on the field at the same time, what they could.
We begged for that last year. We were literally begging for it. They did it twice. It worked. They wouldn't do it for like two more games. It was like, now, Chris, what were your thoughts on Justin Fields, man? Where I know he has a toe injury, but like his command of the huddle, his presence, like you like his vibe so far, what he's doing?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a crazy amount to go off of on Saturday, you know, especially just the real limited, you know, dump off stuff. But I mean, it's hard not to be excited. Like he throws an effortless ball. You know, you really can't wait to see. Like obviously, hope they don't rush that toe and it's good to go for week 1 and stuff. But like that run element, especially with our O line, you know, looking pretty good. I mean, Will kind of blew up Membo on Saturday, which was exciting and also a little bit bummer because you want to be pumped for one first round pick, but you're not pumped for the other. But I mean, hey, that's what they're there for. I mean, there's, you know, just going off last year alone with how many sacks Will McDonald have, there's no better test right now that we could offer Membo than 100%. Facing up with him from practice to practice.
And then Jermaine Johnson when he comes back.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about. And like, I know like there's pictures and stuff out there, but like I forgot going into that practice that Will McDonald switched his number. And I was like, who the fuck is 9? And I'm like, holy shit. Like, dude, he looks like he fucking ate another human. Yeah, he might have. You know, like it's I said going into this year, man, I didn't want to like I'm in, you know, you got to prove it to me. And like, you still do, you know, like last year did leave a sour taste, but
it's exciting, dude, because the things we complained about, they're addressing.
Exactly. And this team is a very easy team to root for. Like, we don't have to fucking go open Twitter or any other kind of social media and see fucking articles about who's Aaron Rodgers' mystery wife and all this kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like we could actually like focus on football, you know, like there's no favorites, you know, whoever's going to be the best is going to get that job, whether that's for the season, week to week basis.
It's a blue collar team.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that I was excited about, because I went to way too many practices where the special teams was a complete joke in practice, where I'm like, the kickers are basically getting suntans every day. The punters are sitting there on the jugs machine. I'm like, what? Like, it was laughable. And the returners got some work, but it was like I couldn't take it. I know my friend Kyle was like, this is the worst.
Yeah.
We would go.
I've been trying to coast them out. I'm like, dude, you got to come out. You got to hold these punters and kickers accountable, man. We need you there. We need to track the stats.
And then this year, Aaron Glenn's completely involved in special teams, and the whole mindset in special teams is different, where their kickers are involved. Like, what are your thoughts? We'll start with you, Bubs. What do you think about the special teams practice and how they're handling it?
Yeah, it's a lot more punting and kicking than we've ever seen. Kroger, who got released, but he was punting, and then McNamara as well. And then they did 10 kicks. They started early in practice. It was 3, and then they did 7 straight. I think Mevis went 9 of 10. Caden Davis went 9 of 10. And then today they did more kicking. So a lot more kicking.
For Mevis.
Yeah. And then they also brought in Nick Folk too for a tryout. So that'll be interesting. I still think,
go ahead. Sorry, man.
I still think there's a chance that the punter and kicker might not be on this roster. We'll see. Preseason games really will ultimately tell what do you do in the game. That's really the big test. If Mevis and Davis can't hit in the games, then you have a problem there. But you know, if one of them's able to hit, then they're going to get the job.
Especially with this team though, where it's going to be defense, run the ball. You're probably going to be a lot of close games. You don't want to be coming down to the final minutes and losing because Mevis shanked something where you had Nick Folk in camp, or Chris. I'm sure you had like ideas too, but I'm kind of with you. It's like you put a premium on special teams where like have a quality kicker that can at least make 40 or 45 yards consistently and not give a game winner a shank punt or a shank kick.
Yeah, I'm right there too. Like I was on board with like a lot of the moves we made this year, but I disagreed with the Morstead. I thought Morstead still should have been there. I know he wasn't vintage Morstead last year, but I'm wondering if the grass might not necessarily be greener on the other side. I'm rooting for thicker kicker too, but I'm with Bubs. I don't think the kicker and punter is on the thing. And I put that on one of the videos that I shared from practice. And like, I had so many people like, that's definitely set. And I'm like, what makes you think that? You know, like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if by the time this stream is over, you see Caden Davis isn't there anymore. I mean, he missed a couple kicks from inside 40. You know, if you're not doing that right now in practice, you know, like, are you going to have the faith of doing to the game? I mean, God, Zerline had the shortest rope ever after the kicks. If we go into the first game and he misses the first kick, you know, like, if that's who they roll with, like, you're going to see pitchforks.
Yeah, but I think. Oh, sorry to cut you off. Yeah, I think what you were saying, under 40, I think Davis, they said missed 38 yards today.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, 38, but I didn't want to misquote it.
You can go, especially because this is an audition. Training camp's an audition. You got to earn your spot in the roster. If you're not cutting it now, then you've got to go. So so Chris, before we let you go, man. So your final early impression of Aaron Glenn's team is you're encouraged, blue collar team, young team, easy team to root for, and it's exciting. To me, it's exciting. I love this stuff. Yeah. I actually can't wait for a preseason game. I want to see this team compete, how they're being coached up, their schemes, even though it's going to be vanilla. Like, I just want to see what they're bringing to the table now. Like, I think it's a fun time to be a Jet fan because it's like, it's something, it's not the same old, Super Bowl or bust or Aaron Rodgers. It's literally a team. Like the whole team is going to try to find ways to win games this year.
Yep, I agree completely. I think I don't want to go crazy with predictions, and I mean, if we push for a wild card, I'd be thrilled. You know what I mean? But it wouldn't surprise me if you tell me we made a wild card, but it wouldn't surprise me if you tell me we don't. Right. Like it could go either way. Just keep playing with that intensity. Just keep building. Just show growth week over week over week. This year is, with all the moves they made outside of Stevens, it's pretty much just evaluating what you have here, who's going to be the pieces moving forward, and then next season you might see some bigger splashes once we have money available. We'll see maybe if we could lock up either ABT or Simpson,
Quincy
during the year. Quincy's another big one, dude. I mean, thoughts and prayers right now to everybody going up against Quincy or like Will McDonald in those live drills. You know what I mean? Like, yep. I don't know if they're having tackling on Saturday. I don't know if they announced that for this week, but man, I hope so. That would be a sight to see them just going balls to the wall like that. Bubs, if you're there on Saturday, hit me up. Like, let's link up maybe on X, maybe sit together and, I'll sneak some more videos, even though you're not supposed to. But hey, nobody told me not to. Nobody came up to me.
What's funny? On the sign, they spelt the sign wrong.
Did they really?
At training camp, it's no video or Steam. They forgot the.
Oh my god!
Dude,
I didn't see it personally, but I saw somebody posted a picture. I saw it on Twitter. And I'm like, when I go there on Saturday, I'm definitely down to link up. But when I go there, I got to look at that. I'm like,
bro,
that is just so Jets.
I need the picture, dude. You guys send me the picture. I need the picture. Because
No
the Jets are the only NFL team that can't do a fucking press conference where the audio is good.
Oh,
it's like the audio cuts out. You can't hear the reporters. It goes out all together. You can't hear nothing. It's just like,
Tyson, you were having fans get soaked underneath the cover because there was just rain building up on top of the thing. Dude, everybody, like, it was almost like there was like a fight and people were yelling World Star. They're just sitting there and you just see like this flood of water just coming off from the top. Like it was windy and it was just blowing and like, oh man, it happened like 5 or 6 times. And then finally you just see the people just start getting up and leaving. Like it was, that was, oh man, like Woody, you upgraded the facilities. You did a nice job with that. Let's maybe think about putting a metal roof on top of those stands or something like that.
Oh my God.
You could just see the water, how much lower it was. And then every time the wind, it was funny because I turned to my brother and right when the wind blew, I'm like, that water is going to fall. And like 3 seconds later, it all just dumped because I guess when the wind blew, it like created the opening. It like pushed it back and all of it just, that happened like 4 times. Yeah. It's quite the experience.
Baby steps, man. They can't get perfection in a day. It's going to take, it's a pro. You got to trust the process here.
Yeah.
Yes.
But hey, if anybody wants, throw me a follow on X. I try to sneak some videos and try to throw out some stuff there, even though, we're not supposed to, but I'm not an employee of the team and I try to do the work for the fans. So everybody gets a little sneak peek of stuff. So
Chris, good seeing you again, man. Thanks for calling in.
You too, guys. Talk to you soon. Yeah.
Again, if anybody's going to Lincoln Park on Sunday, Prudential Center, let me know because I'll be there. System of a Down Wednesday night going with Paul. I think Armand's going. So anybody going to concerts, man, let me know. Now, the next guy, see, last week was his official training camp preview. But he didn't come with the information you came with, man. You came with the energy, the passion. He came in kind of arrogant. But you know what the worst thing is? He started off with no sound. Like, at least we talk, like we could talk. I could actually hear you. This guy, no fucking sound. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I was struggling here. I'm sweating. I'm like, oh, my God, I can't figure this stuff out. And then he's like, you know what? Deal with it, man. This is who I am. So.
How are you, Bubs?
How's it going?
Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain there. He's as useless as can be.
Listen, man, we're here to entertain. And if there's no audio, I can't, it's just.
What? How many times did you have to reset your router all those times?
Listen, man, but I'm not.
And you're the host.
You're the celebrity. You're the celebrity guest, though.
This is your channel.
This is your exclusive training camp
you should
preview.
Be top-notch system there if you're hosting a stream.
You're doing these previews all across YouTube on all these different channels. When I get you, it's like,
putting pictures up on the wall doesn't make you a high-tech streamer. Okay.
Listen, man. Well, so now you'll get over the debacle of last week, and now we're going to go into this week where things are a lot more exciting.
Thank you.
But your thoughts on Aaron Glenn's approach to training camp, man? Where
Listen,
it's amazing.
These kids come from winning programs where they're constantly trained. They're constantly going to a heavy training camp, and then they come to Salah and his merry men of idiots, and they give him a playbook and say, study this and learn 5 different positions at the same time. You know,
Yep.
It's totally different. Did you see his comment when they said, you know, with the Bill Parcells, he says, "Hey, I'm Aaron Glenn. I'm Aaron Glenn. I know Bill. Bill's a friend of mine. I learned a lot from Bill. But it's the same time. He says, this is my system. I'm Aaron Glenn."
Well, that's the way he should be, though. He's like, listen, he's like, I talk to him once a week. If he ever calls me, I'll answer. He's a mentor of mine. I respect him, but this is my team, my decision, my philosophy. He even talked about some of the drills, like the Oklahoma drill that Bubs is talking about. He's like, listen, we did a part of that with the Lions, but I kind of modified it with my own vision, the way I want to do things. Like he's taking full accountability for his own program. Like, listen, like I may have learned from Sean Payton and Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick and all these guys, but this is my program. Exactly. I'm going to sink or swim the way I want to do things. And Parcells told him to do that. Parcells said, just be yourself, dude. Like this, just don't change for the media. Don't change for the fans. Win or lose by your style.
Everybody learns from somebody. Simple as that, you know. But no, it's refreshing, and I'm glad that, like with the record, they took him out for a play, and you're seeing these players stepping up. I'm hearing, though, I don't think Lazard has a chance. A lot of guys are saying, a lot of writers are saying Lazard, he might not even make the team the way he's playing.
Well, they restructured his contract, so it wouldn't be bad if you had to cut him or trade him to the Steelers. But it's also so early, too, dude. You know how many times in July we talk about this? And 3 weeks from now, injuries pop up, this, that. Guys get used to the offense, get used to the quarterback, and they start coming on a little bit. So I think that's
let's hope. Let's hope. I mean, these guys, you know, the younger guys are stepping up. You know,
and I love this, by the way. The comment from Joseph is, "How about Glenn standing up this?" You could tell Glenn doesn't like Cimini. He doesn't, because anything Rich asks him, he's got a snarky comment like right, Bubs? Like, what do you think? I love it.
I feel like we need a you know, the One Jets Drive, they always do like the docu-series and stuff. I feel like we need a docu-series behind the Cimini and Glenn beef, because there has to be something, because he obviously covered him as a player.
Yep.
There's got to be something that happened when he was a player, whether it was a story about him, whatever, that turned him off, and he still kind of holds him to it.
I think he knows what his game plan is towards the team. He knows what he's done before, and he's prepared for him. And you know, there's nothing Cimini can do now because he's got a competent coach. You know, his presses are fantastic.
Well, I think he also can identify a media narrative too, where he's like, "Oh no, don't call me Parcells 2.0, because I'm not Parcells 2.0. I'm Aaron Glenn.
Exactly.
Don't like." I think what he said, one thing about Justin Fields being behind schedule now. And Aaron Glenn's like, he missed 1 day of practice, and he was in all the meetings. He's not behind schedule. He's exactly where I want him to be. Like, don't tell me like don't assume you know things about this team, because you don't.
Exactly.
I'll tell you how this team is, and I love it, because for so long, friggin' Salah kissed the media's ass and said all this shit, and they ran with it. We ran with it. I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. And now Glenn's like, no, this isn't true. This isn't true. And I think the players like it because he's backing them up. Like they're like, the media's not pushing him around. And he's like, listen, our coach legitimately has our back. He's going to keep it real with us and them, and there's no gray area. And I mean, Bubs, don't you think that goes a long way as well? Because now the media circus is going away now. There's no chance of it happening now.
Oh yeah, I mean, Salah talked himself in circles, and I'm glad you brought up that point about Fields, and even Chris brought it up as well, just with the injuries and the way he's given the injury updates.
Mm-hmm.
Salah, right, the 2 weeks with Becton completely off, or Salah would go up there and he'd always be like, "Oh, we don't know, knock on wood." Glenn went up there right away and told you straight up. He said he didn't even wait for them to ask. Opening statement, he's told it straight away about Fields. And if you remember, Glenn even shot back at the media a bit, telling him, like, "I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the injury," because the reporters kind of made it seem like, right, they didn't really know what was going on. Fields got carted off. They made it seem as if it was a lot worse, and Glenn kind of could tell that. And he, basically told him, like, "Look, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you like it is." And that's breath of fresh air, just even on the injury front as well. Like, Salah, you never know. He would say if he'd say a guy's out for a week, you knew it's 3 months. You know.
Well, he was known for lying. Like he couldn't believe a word he said. Oh, it's a finger injury.
Yeah.
It's probably a broken hand. The guy's gonna be out 8 weeks. And then he'd say, well, the player's week to week. Like with Becton, he completely screwed Becton by being wrong every week. So we expected, all right, it's gonna be 4 to 6 weeks. Okay. In 4 to 6 weeks, we want him back on the field. Well, it's gonna be another 2 weeks. Like, why lie, dude? It makes the player look bad, makes the team look bad. You're just embarrassing everybody. Just keep it honest. Like when the NFL injury report comes out every week, you got to be honest about it. You got to tell you go.
What do you gain from that? That's
Nothing.
the thing.
Oh, competitive advantage. No, you're just full of shit.
Yeah,
you look stupid.
Guy's not playing. Where's your advantage?
None.
Exactly.
So I mean, but what do you think about the penalties? To me was huge, but the tackling I think is awesome because and again, I'm old, dude. I went to the Parcells practices. I went to a lot of these older practices where they were physical, nasty. But now in this day and age of the NFL, it's a little bit different where it's not, it's just not that same kind of game.
Well, I think I said Rosenblatt wrote that this was the hardest hitting camp he's seen in years.
Perfect
for the Jets.
But are you worried at all about the ramification where that it's great to be physical, that also puts yourself in a position where the injuries are going to happen? Are you willing to take that risk to get the reward? Like, are you willing to say, listen, we're going to have a really physical practice, but excuse me, injuries are going to happen though. Are you okay with that?
Injuries happen during the game. What's the difference?
I mean,
really, what's the difference?
But it's also practice. Like, it's also you're changing the nature of your practices to make it more demanding on the players' bodies.
Yeah, but that's how they get. That's how they get stronger.
Yeah,
They take the hits now. Mm-hmm. It's easy to take the hits in the beginning. Where a lot of these teams don't. They don't take the hits in the beginning, and that's why they take a while before they start gelling together and start playing it stronger. So I have no problem with it.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I have no issue with it. I mean, Salah always felt like was so worried of injuries. And the Jets even last year, they completely overhauled or made a change to their sports science department or whatever with the injuries. Still didn't work.
They almost became timid, right? They didn't seem like they were so worried about it, became timid. And soft's not a good word because they're all football players, but it just seemed like they didn't have that not killer mindset, that physical, nasty mindset. They're like, let's prevent this, let's prevent that, let's prevent this.
Soft.
But they were confused for half the time. How do who am I hitting? Where am I going? What am I doing?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. This is a breath of fresh air that we're seeing.
Yeah,
it's great. Did you guys see the origins for Fashanu and McDonald?
I haven't watched that yet. It's good.
The Will McDonald one.
Really?
Wow. That's a feel good story.
I know.
He's some athlete.
He's
some athlete.
Hey man,
he basically started basketball, in high school. He was like 6. He was 6 something before, and the new football coach ran up to him and said, "You got to play football for me." Blah blah blah. As he got better, they put him in track and field. He never did track and field before. He won state for the discus and came second in the high jump. It's just a nonstop athletic kid. Anything he's done. He tries to do 100%. It's a great piece.
Especially when you hear about Bubs talking about how he looked in practice, where he's like bigger, stronger, faster. That's incredible.
Yeah, he's just it's a must watch. Fashanu was a good story, but this one it goes deeper. He's sleeping out of his car because he didn't want to go. The mother went back to home because they were evicted, but he wanted to finish his education in the particular school. So he was sleeping out of the car. The coaches found out, and they did everything possible to find him to stay at their homes, whatever. It was such a heartwarming, but a real good feel story. But the resiliency of this kid is unbelievable.
We'll have to check it out. He's becoming a fan favorite, I think, too, because he has all the potential, the sacks, and it's like him, and if you get a healthy Jermaine Johnson and him, man, that's a duo that's going to be create havoc.
And he's just got that personality. He's just easygoing and friendly. When you talk to him, I'm looking forward to it. I'm waiting for the preseason game. I can't wait for the preseason games to start.
Is it a breath of fresh air for you, Ephraim?
A breath, whatever. Well, you do have your air coming through your breast.
That's true. There's always ways to look at it.
Yeah.
So now, Afram, what will you be talking about this week on Afterburners?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the script yet.
Now, Bubs, is Afram been on your show yet or no?
Not yet.
Is he too busy? Did he want to charge you something?
I'll be honest with you. I just don't know when your show is.
But was his appearance fee too much? 'Cause it gets kind of pricey sometimes.
Yeah, I can see. I'm rolling in the dough. Literally, real dough, like making bread. That's about it.
Well, Afram, once again, it's good things. Now, do you still want to be our salary cap guru, or have you become kind of lazy with all the contract stuff?
It doesn't make a difference. I could do the guru or whatever. You'll always find some critique.
Are you embracing the challenge of contract guy, or you've given up on that role now?
Whatever you want. See,
Bubs, who do we deal with here? He doesn't take the job seriously. Doesn't take it seriously.
I don't pay attention anymore.
Well, Afram, it's good to see you. We look forward to seeing you. We look forward to seeing you on Afterburners and Jets World and everything else this week. It's always fun to see that.
As long as there's a spot open, there's a link, I'll be there.
Have a good night, man.
Be good.
All right, Bubs. Now, is this true? You only do pre-recording? You do no lives?
Yeah, I haven't done a live stream in a while. I want to get back into doing more lives, but primarily just a lot of just pre-recorded videos or just regular videos.
There's so much more fun to do because you can do it and be done with it. Live gets tough. Yeah. You got to deal with all like the chat and the interactions and.
Yeah, I probably this season maybe or soon here training camp one of these days fire one up maybe, but I like the pre-recorded. Just get your thoughts out.
It's a lot easier, dude. I love when you make the video, put it out there. And you don't even share your link here on this. You don't even share your names. Like I put it in the description. What you got to promote yourself more, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my channel is Bubs on Sports. I think, you put it in the description. And then I'm doing writing for the Jet Press as well. You can just find me on their main page. Training camp recaps, player previews every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So yeah, I like this time of year. This is my favorite part I love training camp coverage. It's a lot of fun.
And we could be doing a Friday night preview show, people. So stay tuned. Bub's gonna be around. We're gonna create some chaos around here. We will bring on our next. I know. I can't wait to argue. What's up, man?
Hey guys, I agree with everything you've been saying about the Jets with the way Glenn is approaching things. He's definitely going foundational. All the little details, all the things. I was at camp Friday. Obviously, it's non-padded, so on and so forth. But I was specifically looking at the coaching and the way they handled it, and it was really interesting because things like they get a penalty. And Glenn would go over and talk to the ref and ask about the penalty, like why he called it and stuff. Then sometimes he'd grab the player and the coach that was in the area, whatever it was, and they were talking. And that's brilliant. I know people have been saying, well, Salah didn't have refs because Woody was cheap. I don't know if I buy that or not for a lot of reasons. But he's using it, and it's valuable. I think Glenn realizes that he's looking at the pieces. He's looking at the details and saying they're important.
Yep.
And I think that's something.
And they are important.
The contrast with Salah, looking at what Glenn is doing and then looking what the Jets were like the last several years under Salah, it was so glaringly obvious. On the field, they were actively coaching. It wasn't coaches sitting there with their arms folded, watching the play unfold and letting it go.
Yep.
Glenn was behind. He was in the backfield. And when something went wrong, he'd often call a timeout. He'd be over talking to the players, sometimes yelling at him or talking to him. One time I saw him get into it with Engelhardt. I thought it was pretty funny. But, they were talking, and it's that constant. And you could see there was multiple coaches. They were doing position drills and stuff. There were multiple coaches. They were watching everything. And I think that is so big. And it's really such a different with this team. I'm seeing a lot of good things there. Does it mean they're going to be a great team? Look, I don't know. Their scheme could be garbage. There could be so many things that could go wrong. Glenn could fall apart under pressure. I doubt it, but he could. There's so many things, but I'm seeing this idea there that he's saying, hey, he's got an idea of how to do it. And, it's funny. I was thinking about it today. I was out doing yard work, and I was wearing the famous Trust the Process T-shirt. And I sat there thinking about it. I said, Salah told us trust the process. He never told us what the process was. Glenn is telling you what it is. He's telling you it's working on the detail. You got a problem. It's letting players know where they need to improve, what they expect of them. And he's saying it. He's saying what the process is. And in camp, you see it happening.
But the thing I like about him is he finds it all as an opportunity. The player, like, and I go back, 'cause I used to go to all the Parcells practices with the Jets. I went to so many practices. It was the attention to detail, and no matter what player made a mistake, stop it. Let's fix it. Well, let's fix what you did and do it again. But it was like Saleh would say, "Oh, we'll do that back. After practice, we'll go over it in the film. We'll look at the tape. Fuck the tape. Let's fix it now and understand what went wrong and how to be a better player right now on the spot." And the players appreciate that. I'd rather know in the moment what went wrong here, and then verifying with the referees. Like, was it a competitive penalty? Was it a stupid mistake? Like, why did you call that? So I can tell the player, here's what you do to avoid it going forward. These are all learning opportunities here, which is how you change all the mistakes that they've been making.
Not only that, but Glenn's learning how the refs are thinking. We're in a league where now the refs have become such a huge part of the game, especially on things like PI, on pass interference and stuff, or some of these illegal formation garbage. They've really become a big part of the game. So if you know what they're thinking, you do know how to tell them to get around it. And I think that's great. The other thing is that, watching what he's doing, the only thing I thought about was Saleh. He kind of took players and said, okay, you're a great pass rusher, so I'll cycle you in on a pass rushing down. Mm-hmm. It never seemed to dawn on him. You know what? You can teach people to do other things. That's one thing Glenn is doing. He's coaching players up. You can take how many guys did you see Parcells, Belichick? They take players that everybody would look at and say, who the hell are these guys?
Yep.
And they turn them into stars. Guys like Wes Welker up in New England. These guys weren't stars. Danny Wood had left the Jets, went to New England, and all of a sudden became, this really solid player. They coach him up. So why can't you? If you got a guy who's a great pass rusher, Will was a great edge rusher. He's teaching him the bull rush. Why can't you do that? Why can't a receiver learn if they're not good at blocking? Why can't they learn? They're not set in their ways. They can learn. Yep. And they're doing it. And that's the thing I can't understand. As a coach, that's a basic thing. And it does motivate players. And it's really interesting. I think what's really interesting is all the stuff we're now hearing coming out of camp. You're hearing players that are basically alluding to what was here before. Yep. You're right. You never heard that.
Nope.
For a lot of reasons, because players never know. They may end up with a coach again. They're not going to sit there and say,
but they're saying, they're quite vocal, man.
Have the basis. You get drafted on a team, you don't know.
Yep.
You don't necessarily know. Even if you came out of college, you can say, well, I came out of college. Coaching in college is different. It's a different venue. And they're seeing it. And they're telling you that the coaching was crap. I mean, basically.
But it's like, it's prominent people too. Like AVT's talking about it. I mean, we've heard AVT, Quinnen, Quincy, so like they're all hinting towards like, wow, this is a lot more this is a lot more accountability here, a lot more direction, no more gray area. They know what we want. Like, and it's so refreshing because this is a very young, impressionable team that's been through a lot of bullshit, a lot of losing, a lot of chaos, a lot of nonsense, a lot of dysfunction. It's like, all right. And then once they see this, they buy in that much more. And Aaron Glenn talks about like this. And these guys are all vested. They're all aboard here. They're like, the physical practices, the demanding workouts. Like they know what it takes to what I demand to get better, and they're willing to do it. And Bubs, I mean, to me, it's like that's the most encouraging thing out of all of this. When you have Sauce and Garrett and Brees Quincy, when they're saying the same words as Aaron Glenn, the young guys like Aaron Smith and AZ Tom, they're all going to follow suit. Yes, sir, let's go because that's my leader. I'm following his path.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Bubs. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, yeah, it's the cornerstone pieces that are buying in and understanding. And I think with Glennon or Sauce and Garrett, what was so intriguing too is these are two guys that you even going back to the mandatory mini camp and OTAs could have easily held out for contracts and all that stuff. But no, they were there. They wanted to be a part of this culture. They want to be a part of this change. They believe in Glenn's vision. And another thing too, just on what you were saying is, and I mentioned this earlier as well, the whole teaching aspect of it all, right? Saleh would, if you had a strength, like you said, it's edge. If you're an edge rusher and you're a good pass rusher, okay, you're just going to be a rotational pass rusher for us coming on third downs. But they're not going to work with you on the run game, all that stuff. Like Saleh is always do whatever your strength is. Glenn, it's
do all right, what do best.
Your strengths, yeah. Now let's work on everything else. Let's work on the weaknesses. Let's get more out of you. Will McDonald is now adding the bull rush.
It's laziness. It's laziness because what you're saying is I'll take the best out. So if Will McDonald's a great edge rusher, great. Well, he's not so good on stopping the run. Well, why not? Why not teach him? Why not take him aside and say, hey, we need you to work on this. Here, we're going to have you working with XYZ on this. We're going to bring somebody in to work with you. and players like that. The thing is, I can't think of a player who wants to sit back and say, well, why are they asking me to tackle? Why are they asking me to stop the run when I'm a great pass defender or I'm a great whatever? Players don't do that.
Nope.
They want to be better. Because on top of everything else, even assuming that they say down the road they don't want to be on the Jets, guess what? You got a guy that's universal. They know those skills. They can go sign on with another team.
Well-rounded
And
players.
again, there's two kinds of motivation there. And that's the thing, too. Glenn seems to instinctively know that players all have different ideas of motivation. The basic coaching and stuff is a big one for almost all players. The want to get better, the want to be whatever. But there are players who want different. He's doing that.
Yep.
And watching it in camp, you could also see the accountability. I saw plays where players screwed up. They pulled them off the field. And somebody was talking to him. They pulled them off. I mean, I was kind of laughing. I don't know if either punter is going to make it either, because I'll tell you, the guy, the left-footed punter, man, he was awful. I forget his name. The guy
it was Kroger, yeah.
Oh. He almost hit people. He was off on the far fields. He shanked the ball and he almost hit like family in the stands or something. I mean, he was terrible. The other guy, I wouldn't call a great punter either. He was getting 35, 40-yard punts, but I don't know if he's that good. I don't know why, but he looked pretty shitty too. So it's but you could see the special team stuff was being emphasized though.
Definitely. And I think McNamara, he was okay, but like you mentioned, I think he just looked good because Kroger was so bad. Oh my God.
And I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't trust McNamara to do a coffin kick. He didn't look that accurate. He got a couple of long kicks off, but they weren't anything like I would sit back and say, wow, he just tried to boot the ball.
Yeah.
So it was bad and stuff.
So overall, you left practice encouraged. Like, you like what you see so far from this regime?
No, I really did. I mean, again, people were asking me about players. Garrett Wilson looked great. But again, it's such a different when you're not in pads, when they were taking it pretty easy. It was the first day of open practice. They're not doing as much.
Yeah.
I'm going again Thursday. I'm waiting to see, because that's what I want to see is the difference. Like, how does it look when they're more intense, when things are going down?
Right.
But yeah, it gave me hope because, again, if you're going to build a team that's going to be there. Now, is the offensive scheme going to work? Well, you know what? If the offensive scheme is not working, I don't think Aaron Glenn is going to sit there like Salah did and say, oh, whatever. He's going to be in there saying, why the hell isn't it working? Why are we doing this? I don't think on 4th down and 2, late in the game when they're down, he's going to be friggin' punting the ball or going for a field goal down 2 scores. He's not going to go for the safe thing. I think my biggest word on Salah, thinking about it, he was afraid of everything. He was timid. Yeah. He was afraid. He was afraid of getting players
over his head.
I'm so hoping that Glenn is going to start players in the preseason that they're going to have the starters playing at least a quarter, maybe a half. Quarter one game, half the other. Get them used to being under game conditions. Because, man, every year Salah's team came out, they looked like a bunch of idiots.
Well, that was, I think Salah's approach was he put a premium on the joint practice, where the joint practice was the preseason game, and the preseason game he mailed it in. Like, well, we just don't give a shit about this. But then the results showed it because the situational awareness wasn't there, the game management wasn't there, and all that. So
all I remember is when they got wiped out by San Francisco who had half their players out, and they got beaten up. And he sat there and said, "That's SF."
Oh yeah, I can't. I'm so over that giving credit to the other team too.
I'm so over that.
I'm so sick.
And you're not going to. Hopefully, I don't think you're going to see the excuses. You're just not going to see it. He's not going to allow it. I think he handled the thing with Fields really well. I was scared. I'm like everybody else. It's like, Christ, what's going to happen? He's going to be on IR. And if it had been under Salah, it might have very well ended up as IR. Who knows?
Thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it.
I got one last thing.
Good.
You know how there's a term out there, frenemy? It's a new, I guess, social media, whatever term. Yeah. For Jets fans, it's fanemy. We love the team and we hate the people running. That's that dichotomy. And with that, I say it, Joe.
Have a good night, man.
You too.
Where are we going?
It's awesome getting all the training camp reports. This is great. I feel like I was there now. This is awesome. What's up, man?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I haven't called in the show since we drafted Denzel Mims.
Oh,
like
shit.
A long time ago, dude.
Where you been, man?
A Zoom call. Dude, I've just been busy with work, with everything. And, like, now I'm finally chilling out. I hurt myself at the gym today.
What were you doing?
Dude, so I bent down to put down my 40-pound dumbbells. Mm-hmm. And I was, like, laughing at my friend. And all of a sudden my back, I just feel like it, like, exploded. Like I
No way.
couldn't sit down. I couldn't walk. Like I literally felt like I was gonna pass out, and I just sat on the floor. I literally the emergency the ambulance had to come. Like I had to get stretched out. Like it
No
was
way.
terrible. It was terrible, dude. I just want someone to like ease my mind off it. And I saw you guys were live. I'm like now's the time I gotta call in. You know.
Well, I hope you feel better, man. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. I'm just happy. Justin Fields is fine. It was just a toe. It wasn't anything. Because I'm gonna be honest. Obviously, when Rodgers was on the team, like I was looking forward to it. But like this is different. Like this is a young guy, like lots of potential, a new coaching staff that actually coaches, and it's just I can't wait for the season. Like it's been a long time since I felt like this good about it. Like Rodgers, like even if it worked out with him, right? It would have been what, a year or two max.
Yep.
Like where we would have been saw. Like this has the potential to be like a solid, good team, and like everyone, I feel like is underrating us. Like no one's giving us the chance. Like we're quiet, and I like this is the first time like where it's just silence. Like no one, you don't hear a peep. We got Sauce's deal done. We got Garrett's deal done. Like it's like great. It's like this finally looks like a competent organization. And like when have we had that?
Well, it's all about football now. It's literally all about football. It's a blue collar team, hard work, actions not words, no slogans, no t-shirts, none of all this other bullshit out there. It's like just play football. And that they're almost like they have a chip on their shoulder. Like we're gonna surprise you guys. Like keep doubting us, keep discounting us. We're gonna show you come week one. And I love it, dude. I take it, no problem.
I literally feel it. Like I just feel the energy. I feel the vibes. Like no more Rodgers. Like ayahuasca. I'm on Pat McAfee. Like no, we have Fields now. We have a team. Like this is about the team. You know. Like there's no distractions. Like, and it's like I just can't wait for like them to just prove everyone wrong. Just go out there and fight. Like.
Compete.
I feel like it was always excuses with Salah, with Rodgers, like, Mike Williams ran the right route. Like you don't like just it was BS, dude. And like with all the tickets, like making like the prices like higher, like they haven't been to the playoffs in 10 years. Like
10 years, 14 years.
14 years, yeah. No, I'm tripping. Yeah, 14. Well, they haven't been good. They haven't had a winning record in 10 years. My fault. Like 2015 with Marshall and all them. But it's like this is stupid. Like, and Woody, he's like more mellow now. He's chilled out. Like I don't really see him talking.
Well, I think he has a lot of faith in Aaron Glenn and his staff for a variety of reasons. First, he knows Aaron Glenn. I think he also knows that the Parcells in Aaron Glenn's corner as well. And I think he's investing a lot of money in this regime. And like he's spending money too. Like Woody Johnson had that offseason criticism where he was one of the worst owners of football. He went out, he renovated the locker room, he spent money on Sauce, spent money on Garrett, he spent the money, like, and he's backed off. And I think, Buzz, we can talk about this too, is I think the hiring of Spielman said a lot to me where it's like, listen, we have a first-time general manager. That's the kind of guy that Woody Johnson can push around. You bring in Rick Spielman too as your consultant, middle guy, executive. That's like, all right. So then it's like, all right, football guys are making football decisions finally. Woody's stepping back. He's heard all the feedback. Like, and I think they have a lot of faith in Aaron Glenn. I really think they do.
Dude, I believe in him, man. Like in soccer, like me and my dad, we always talked about it. Like for the coach to be a former player, like it obviously like you wanted a coach that has been there, that's done it, you know, that could easily command the locker room. But for a former player of the organization who was a great player to come in there and be like, guys, I've played before. I've seen what it was like with Kotite years. Like I've seen, like I know what it's like, guys. Like take my hand. Everyone follow me. Like that's huge. Like
well, the players talk about it. They literally say it. Like
they literally say it.
The returners, like Aaron Glenn was a great returner. Aaron Glenn was a great corner. Like he's done a lot of these things. He's played in the NFL. He's been through tough training camps, so he can relate and tell them firsthand. Like I know what you're going through, but this is going to make you better.
Exactly.
Okay? And how do you doubt him?
Yeah, you can't. And it's just like, I hate people being so negative. Oh, typical Jet fans being optimistic on the off season. Like, what are you supposed to do? Be pessimistic? Like,
listen, and I have a lot of people because like when they first hired, like Aaron Glenn's my favorite players of all time. So I was biased going into this, but it wasn't my first choice. I wanted a Vrabel or Flores or somebody else.
Yeah, me
but
too.
like you look at all the things we complained about, literally for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Step by step, he's showing his vision of how to fix it, and it makes sense to me. It's not bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
listen, I'm going to have refs at practice. Well, there goes penalty issues. We're going to
Yeah.
actually tackle in practice when we couldn't tackle for last. Like, it's like basic fundamental shit
God.
that, you know, no more off the field distractions, no more players tweeting all day long. Like, all the things we complained about. It's now what, July 28th? That to me is progress. Hopefully it translates in July or in September, but it makes sense. There's a vision, there's a blueprint. Salah never really had a blueprint other than trust me, trust my process. It's too good to fail. Isn't that what he said? Bubs, I think he said that was our system's too good to fail. That's what he said.
Yeah, it was too good to fail.
And it was terrible.
Yeah, and they always have all these built-in excuses. I think that's one of the things that I really liked about Glenn's approach too. Just going back to his introductory press conference, you know, when Glenn and Douglas or Salah and Douglas took over, well, Douglas obviously there prior, but all they talked about was how much, you know, to trust the process, and all they talked about was the expansion roster, and that is fair. There is more talent now, but there was never that sense of urgency. Every year it was always making excuse for what they inherited and how it's going to take time. And, you know, Glenn day one is like, we want to win now. We want to go out there and put a good product out there now. Salah and Douglas, it was always, just trust it. It's going to take time. There was no urgency, and
no
it
accountability.
Just, and you listen to them during the season. I mean, even Lazard last year, I think they were 2-2, I think. And he's like, oh, you know, we're not in a bad spot. We're okay with it. Like, no, you shouldn't be okay with that.
They were, you know what it was to me? It was they were comfortable with losing. They were complacent. Like, it was okay to lose. Like, oh, you know, we were close. We tried. That's a good team over there. Like, there was never ramifications. Like, losing's unacceptable. We're tired of it. It was like, well, you know, always maybe next week or maybe next year. Like, we're close. Like, fuck being close. Win goddamn games now.
Yeah. And it's just like the complacency. It's like, like that made our players worse. Like Sauce was like, yeah, he was good, but he was a shadow of what he was.
You could see it. They could
it was terrible. Like Garrett, like awesome player, great season. Like he was fed up. Like he couldn't do it. I am so thankful that we didn't keep Rodgers, because Garrett would have walked out that door.
Yep, 100%.
Garrett was not going to take it. And
Completely
it's the fact that they reunited him with this boy, played at Ohio State, played at a great level. They already have a connection. They already have chemistry. And it's the fact that we chose Fields. Like, this is like, we are the team that, okay, Pittsburgh didn't choose him. They sat him for us. Chicago didn't believe in him. Like, we are like the first team to sit him down. Like, kid, we've seen enough. We believe in you. We're going to do our best to, you know, we're going to sign Garrett. We're going to sign, Mason
We're going to build around you.
Yeah, we're going to build around you. We're going to build the offensive line. Like this is what he needed, like, this whole time. Like, and I'm not going to be shocked, like, if he goes out there and he actually does what he did in Pittsburgh and maybe a little bit better. You know, they were what, 5-2 when they took him out?
Yeah.
4-2. Yeah, they were 4-2. Could have been 5-1 if that Dallas game, if the defense stopped them late. Like, but it's also like Justin Fields is a very easy guy to root for. He's very humble, right? Bubs there. He's humble. He's hardworking. The teammates lead to love him. Like, he's all about the team, not about flash. Like, that's what you want. Like you said it, Bub. You said it earlier before. It's a very easy team to root for. It is, because there's no jerks. There's no attitudes. There's no divas. There's no egos.
No holdouts.
Like, they just want to win football games. All they want to do, like, compete and win and make everybody happy. And that's it. And that's all they're worried about. It's a young team, and they're hungry. Like, you feel the hunger. You see it. Like you see, like, obviously the videos, you know, they're videos, but still, like, you just see it. And like, I saw like Membu was talking about like him and Will McDonald going at it. Like they're pushing each other. Like I love that. Like, all right, Garrett and Sauce just got to deal. Like, them two going at it. Like, that's what you love to see. It's like, dude, I'm not gonna be surprised if this team gets nine wins. Maybe they get hopefully 10, but a 9's a stretch. But 6 to 8. Now 6 to 8. My thing is 6 to 8. Anything less than 6, I'm pissed. I'm tight. But I could see 6 to 8. That's the range. But at best, I would say like 9 to 10. Like, if everything goes right. Yep. But I just have a feeling. I feel like too many people, they're gonna look at us and they're gonna doubt us. They're gonna think like, oh, like, and I love that. You know, I'm happy that we're playing Pittsburgh week 1. Yep, me too. I'm kind of happy it's not prime time. Like, I kind of like that it's 1 o'clock. Like, they have a storyline. Like, but it feels good, you know. And hopefully that first game is gonna set the tone for everything.
if they go out there and they just get after Rodgers and Fields,
I think they're going to. They're gonna come out with a big time effort.
Dude,
They're gonna come out nasty and fired up and well prepared. Because Glenn, there's so many storylines with it. But I think it sets it, like you're right. It sets the tone for your season. But it's like you've had all this time to go against your old quarterback. Who there's that. It's a very good Steeler team. All these other things like at home, 1 o'clock game. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, man.
It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. And all the talk is like, oh, Rodgers back to his former team. He's playing his former team. Oh, like. Fields is playing the team that gave up on him. That said, yo, we promised Russ the job. Sorry, we can't give it to you. Like, that's BS. And you heard how the players talked about Fields, and the locker room was pissed. They were like, yo, you're fucking kidding me? Like, we're 4-2. Like, this is a young guy. Like, we have potential. Like, and you're gonna give it back to Russ?
There's a lot of Steeler fans that want it back. There's a lot of Bears fans that have messaged me. Bears fans talk to me, send me messages too. Yep.
Like, that's why I can't wait. Like, I'm not saying he's gonna be the quarterback of the future, but like, dude, this gives you a shot. This is an opportunity compared to Rodgers. Okay, 1 year of Rodgers and see you later. Then what? Like, no, like, okay, we have this guy. This guy could be the next guy for the next maybe 5 years, 6 years.
Could be next decade. He's young, dude.
Yeah, next decade. He's young. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, then it's like, okay, well, we go into the draft. We go from there. But I don't know. I believe. I have faith. Like, I'm just happy Rodgers is out the window. Hassan Reddick, like, no more idiots. Like,
that's it. It's just, dude, there's no more drama, no more divas.
No more drama.
Bro, thanks for calling in, man, and feel better. Hang in over there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going tomorrow. My brother's gonna drive me to orthopedic. They're gonna check out my back. I have a feeling it's like maybe like a disc, like herniated disc or something. Like, I don't know what it is because I've never had a back injury before, but I think I should be good. But I don't know.
Hang in there, man. Good luck.
I'm gonna try. But listen, I got something to look forward to, man. Like, I've been looking forward to. Like, I'm enjoying the summer, but it's like this is the first year where like I feel that energy. Like, I feel that swagger, that like not like that no noise, just straight to work. Like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it our way, and it's a unity, man. Like,
they have pride in their team, dude. The players have, like, the coach has pride in the team. The players have pride. Like, they have that. Like, Aaron, like I talk this with Ian all the time. It's like Aaron Glenn wanted this job. He loves this organization. He loves this team. He's proud to be the coach of the Jets, and he has so much pride in this team. And it rubs off on the players. They feel it too. Like, listen, like, we're proud to be Jets, man. We want to win for this. We want to win for this fan base, for ourselves. Like, they're tired of all the other shit. So it's a different mindset, dude. I love it.
I freaking love it, dude. And anything could happen, man. The division, like, you got Buffalo, but like Miami's a question mark. Like, New England, a lot of people are expecting New England to be great. Like, not great, but like good. Like, dude, you never know what could happen. The Jets have beat the Bills before with Zach Wilson and Zala. Like, what are we gonna say? Like, they can't do it with
anything can happen, dude. Every year, teams surprise people. Every year is surprises.
And you know, I just have a good feeling it could be us. Because, like, why not us? You've seen teams like Washington turn around in a year. A team like Houston turn around in a year. Like, what's our excuse? Like, what Salah was like, you know, we're getting there. Oh, you gotta just trust the process. Like, you're fucking kidding me, dude. It's been years. But sorry for the rant.
You're good, dude. Welcome back. Good seeing you. Have a good night, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one. All right, be well. Everyone take care.
Later, dude. Back injuries blow, dude. That's gonna suck.
The back, everything just, you can't do anything with that.
No. Yeah, and then you gotta go to a chiropractor or acupuncture, all kinds of other shit. It's been brutal. So now, before we go to our cleanup hitter, who I haven't talked to in a long ass time, so when do you get to the point where you're like, so now you're excited, you're enjoying it, you've been to a couple practices, you're like, all right, it's cool.
Yep.
When do you start saying, you know what, maybe this is a 8 or 9 win team?
Yeah.
You gotta go through the preseason first, because like the funny thing is, right now everybody's excited, dude. Like, I saw the one play, like Mason Taylor, they showed Mason Taylor make a catch all over Twitter. This guy's going to the Pro Bowl. I'm like,
oh yeah, it's going to Canton.
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? Have we not learned any lessons here? But if you stack up a lot of great performances over a period of time, you know, like, to me, like, I'm getting late into the preseason before I start annoying people. I'm like, all right, I'm really encouraged about this team.
Yeah, I agree. It's preseason, especially for the rookies. See what they look like in game, and even the joint practices, but specifically, you know, in those game environments, it's big. Mason Taylor, you know, the guys in the secondary, AZ Thomas, Malachi Moore. What do they look like? this receiver room would be interesting to see what they look like in game. Like, what do you get out of Malachi Corley? What does Arian Smith look like in game? Is he, is he kind of just going to be used in the preseason? I know it'd be very watered down to their playbook, but is he primarily just going to be a vertical threat in the preseason? Are they going to use him and try him out in some, different spots as well, whether it's a kind of a gadget role, whatever? Yeah, it's preseason. Now it's only 5 practices, so you got
every year, dude. Every year, the same way.
Yeah, they suck you back in. But yeah, it's preseason and get out of the preseason healthy. That's most importantly. Get out of preseason, get out of joint practices, all those things healthy. Get out of the dog days of summer. That's really when you start to come to conclusions.
So, Oscar's question is, Tyson, will Stone Smart be your new favorite guy to replace Tanzel Smart? I love Tanzel Smart. I'm all about Braylon Allen this year, dude. If I had to get a jersey, that Braylon Allen's my guy. Thoughts on Josh Reynolds being a number 2? Vinny, that was something that Bubs talked about early on when he first did he went to practice and said, Josh Reynolds is impressive. Like you think he's like far and above everybody else behind Garrett?
Yeah, I think he's running away with it. And that was kind of the case since the spring, but even now, just seeing that at the practices, they're targeting him a lot. They're looking his way a lot. He's clearly right now, I'd be shocked if he's not the number 2. And again, it's 5 practices, anything could change, but he's playing well and nobody really has like completely emerged behind him. Like Lazard has kind of been a non-factor. Tyler Johnson's been good, but I don't think he's going to step up to that number 2 spot. And Corley and Arian Smith and all those guys are bottom half.
And a lot of the young receivers are saying how Josh Reynolds always helps him out in the film studying too. He's he's very active in film study, in the locker room, like coaching him up, helping things out. So that's already a leadership role he's taken on, which is good for him too. So we did over an hour and a half somehow. We got to bring up our cleanup hitter, who I haven't talked to him in forever. Yo,
how you guys doing?
How you been, man?
Doing better.
Good to hear.
Yeah. How you guys doing?
Are you getting a Jamal Adams Raiders jersey?
No. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson.
So what jersey do you want? You want a new jersey, or you're happy with your Seahawks?
No, just to see. And
are you a Jets fan yet? Have you converted?
Yeah, still a Seahawks fan, but also Jets fan as well. So yes, I am converted because of you and Pete.
We're here for you, man. We're here to. But now it's it seems like the teams are in 2 directions though. Are the Seahawks team on a rise, or are they falling down? With the Jets maybe on the rise?
We'll see. We will see. How are you guys?
Doing good, man. Bubs is giving me all the training camp points that he sees, so he's my insider now. He's the Let's Like Jets insider.
Bubs, how you doing?
Doing good.
It's been a year since I talked to you. That was on my channel.
That's right. How's your channel doing, man?
How's it going through some health things? So I haven't really been on it as much, but
me neither.
Now I'm back here. I'm better than I.
Well, good. At the right time. You're back now. Football training camp's here. It's the best time to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting better health-wise, thankfully.
Good.
I was looking like a zombie from the Walking Dead. But
it happens, man. We all go through shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you, man. I'm glad. So you're.
Great to be back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. So we got to go on your channel, and you got Seahawks, get the Jets. Are you watching any baseball, or you gave up on that?
I gave up.
Me too.
I gave up on that.
Listen, man, I'm a Yankee fan. I gave up. I quit. I'm done. Bubs, you done with the Yankees?
They're terrible.
I can't watch it. I can't watch Bad News Bears baseball. I just can't watch it anymore.
And not a thing will change. Cashman and Boone will be here. I mean, they extended Cashman after they missed the playoffs in 2023.
I can't watch anymore.
God.
I can't watch just error after error and stupidity. Like it's just, I'm just.
And then talk about press conferences, and then Boone goes in there and says, "Oh, we're still one of the best defensive teams." The defending of Volpe is ridiculous. I don't get it.
Can't take it.
and boom. Do us all a favor. Stop talking.
Dude, he reminds me of Salah at this
Yeah.
point now. He's
He's a puppet.
embarrassing. He's 100% a puppet. And he can't even believe he says what he can't even believe what he's saying. He just no way he can because he comes off so incompetent at this point.
And I'm an Angel fan.
Oh,
And I don't even have a manager. My manager's out for the rest of the season because of health issues.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ron Washington.
Yeah, Ron was. Thank you, bud. All right, guys. Have a good night. Love you.
Good to
guys.
see you, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah.
Later, dude.
Later.
You going?
Love you, man. Look at Steve coming in late. Look at this guy. Comes in at freaking 9:40. What kind of nonsense is that? Well, Bubs, somehow we did an hour and 40 minutes. Now the question is, you're going to practice what, Saturday?
Yes.
Are you coming on Monday night to share your practice thoughts? Because you gave a really good job, dude, of like breaking this all down.
Yeah, I'll be here Monday. Yeah, I'm
Let's do it.
always around, always down to talk some Jets. So
So you better have some detailed notes though, man, because I have more questions. Now, because now it's like you have your first practice report, which was good, but now we're gonna have a lot more questions on the fringe players.
yeah, now it's green. I think Saturday's actually what the green and white practice they call
Should
it.
be a
So
lot
it
more.
probably should be a lot of really good reps, a lot of practice, mostly just scrimmage and stuff. I'm interested just to see a lot of the special team stuff and.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, some of the fringe roster stuff, just kind of how they round out the 53. And some guys that are just special teams, you know, how they slot in. So,
and the injuries
be,
and the adversity to the
yeah.
injuries, who they sign, and it's gonna be interesting.
Definitely.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We definitely appreciate it. We're back in the flow every Monday at 8:00. I think Ian and I will be Wednesday this week because he's doing something tomorrow night. I think he's actually going somewhere else tomorrow night. So we'll be back Wednesday night, and then that's it. Have a good night.
J-E-T-S,